Welcome to e-Padashala. We are going to talk about planting in landscaping. When you do the planting in landscaping, what is more important for you to understand is the fourth dimension, which is time. After so many years, how much of height, how much of spread the plant will grow, what is the size of it at the fourth dimension, that is time. So you have to do the planting in such a way that the spacing between every plant or tree to be organized in such a way that it will take care of the future growth and fully grown tree or shrub at a later date. Then you also need to take care of the different varieties of plants you are planting. Okay, that is your hedge planting, your flowering planting, your wooded areas, your avenue trees, your ascent planting, and then all these need to be trained, all these need to be handled in a proper way so that at the future time you will not have a problem other than cutting it at a later date. So for example, if you are designing a good avenue tree, you see to that the tree grows beyond 5.5 meters. That is the height of the lorry or a bus or anything that will be passing under the tree. You need that canopy clearance for the vehicle. Then if you are going to do hedge planting, your spacing has to be zigzag. Usually it is 1.5 feet spacing. On both the sides, if you look at it, it will be 1 feet interspaced so that both the branches will touch each other and interwing itself, and you can train it to a different level so that the plant will form a very good hedge. But we also have to take into consideration this hedge planting life is a smaller. For example, this hedge planting will last only for a period of 6 to 8 years. So after 6 to 8 years, it is advisable for you to remove the planting and then do away with the new planting. And then these particular areas also, what we are going to talk about, Aditya Residence, where it is next to the sea, even though there is a house before it which will take care of most of the salt spray, and this house falls under a shadow area, so it doesn't get into most of the salt spray happening in the other houses. So now you know about this house, you can study it in detail and understand why the things have been planted in this way. Good day to everybody. We are today going to talk about residential landscaping. First, let us talk what are the criteria of landscaping. Then we will go into the design aspect. Then go to the planting aspect. Even though it is completely planting aspect, but design actually plays a major role, and plant design in such a way so that you create your spaces while doing the planting design. Like you have a bedroom, living room, kitchen. In the garden also there is a necessity of creating private space, semi-private space, personal space, like that. So how to do all these things in an area is what we are going to talk today. And you have to take care of your orientation of the building. So how to create shade for the building so that heat getting into the building can be cut off, one. Number two is how to create privacy in terms of plantation. Number three, how to create colorfulness in terms of plantation. How to create usable spaces in terms of plantation plus hard and soft landscaping. Then comes your water bodies, your swimming pools, then comes your fountains. Okay, when we talk about water body, we are talking about fountains also, plus how to create privacy for different activity. So we are going to talk about this right now. Basically, when I was talking about design features, we have a party lawn, fruits and kitchen gardens, buffer trees, mainly because this particular house is located in the seashore. So we have to cut the salt spray into the building so that our building materials are need to be saved, plus your other planting need to be saved because of the salt spray. Then you need connecting pathways are required. A driveway normally is required and a focal point. So we are having a residential plan here. This particular building is facing the north side. Then what is the fruit bearing trees on the north western side. Then you have buffer trees on the western side. This is all mainly done to create a privacy to the people. You have a lawn on the western side. Then you have focus and landscape on the driveway with the car parking facility. You have a party zone. Then you have a swimming pool available. So how are you going to do the planting? How are you going to design this? This is a planting plan, how to go about the planting plan with connecting walkways, your driveways, your screening planting, your focus planting, your fruit bearing trees, everything are located. Now we are going to talk about it in individual segments. So fruit garden is located on the northwestern side. So we can have a fruit garden where the shade of the security thing happening there. So some much of salt spray will not happen here. So here you can go ahead with the planting of your mango tree, guava tree, lime tree. All those fruit bearing trees can be taken up. Driveway and focal point. Your driveway need to be easily accessible, maneuverable, plus enough car parking space with the washing area. Then you have a party zone available. Then buffer plantation is required. Then again buffer plantation on the western side. The basic concept of zoning is here. Party zone. What is party zone? Party zone is where visitor could easily get the completion of the lush greenery. You have a open lawn available with the Korean grass. That's very easily maintainable in this particular region. Then you have a focal flowering plants, colorful foliage hedges, meandering stepping stones for the people to walk around and connect to different places, rows of trees, colorful foliage hedges, clumps and clusters of palm in order to give a character to that area. Then bushy clumps of shrubs are there so that you get colorful planting. So this is a detail of a planting plan with a fruit and kitchen garden. You have a hedge of casuarina planted on the western side. Then you have a mango tree, sitapal tree is there. Then you have an ornamental tree like tebubias are there as a buffer. Then you have a sapota tree. Have some flowering plants like musanda is also planted on the other side. Sapota trees are there. Sitapal lemon trees are there. So these are all different fruit trees which can grow in that area. Kitchen and fruit garden is zoned at the rear end or northwestern end of the house, not visible by the visitors because kitchen garden is always need to be revived. So sometimes you will see only the soil, sometimes you will see the dry plants, sometimes you will see more vegetable and need not attract others. And of course the kitchen garden also nowadays they do lot of pest control in that area, need not be affected by your pets and other thing. Whenever there is a pets are there, you should not use a pest control in the house because it's dangerous for the pets. So you have to go in for an organic pest control in those zones. fruit bearing trees. We have mango tree, custard apple, lemon tree, sapota tree. These are the four varieties of trees that are being planted in this region. Lemon tree, as we all know, citrus lemon tree is planted here. Maybe it's a slow growing tree. You can see this kind of fruits only at the age of 6 or 7, not immediately like this. How the leaves are, how the flowers are, fruits are there. There are different types of lemon trees. Are there, the elongated one and then a round one. Mango tree. Mangoes also, there are plenty of varieties of mango. Here we have planted a common variety so that it gives a flower, because next to the seashore we don't want to take a chance of planting a Alfonso or something like that. Details about mango tree. Mango tree should not be planted near the swimming pool or any other water body, because during the flowering or pollination period the leaves and the thing fall into the water and create a hitching, plus the pest, the insects which come for the fruit or come for the flower. If it falls onto the water and then if you are going to have a swimming, then it will create lot of problem. Plus the droplet from the mango is also very important. It spoils your car and other thing. Sapota tree is the other one. Flowers, very good flowers and fruits. Custard apple. Custard apple, sitapal we call it. And with the driveway, planting of different attractive and colorful foliage, attractive to the visitors, good visual experience, acts as a central node and a roundabout for the driveway, bifurcate fruit garden and the pathway zone. We have different planting, hibiscus, heliconias, eranthemum gold, taberna montana variety, behonias, because all these varieties are used in order to generate color for the landscaping. So when you look at this plate, you will understand the different plant material, different coloring pattern happening. You have yellow as Galphemias, have a Behonias as a purple or purple color, Taberna montana white color, Hibiscus pink, Heliconias yellows, Eranthemum again yellow leaf and white flowers. Then you have raffle palms for the foliage effect. Then you have Plumeria albus as a sculpture trees, Clerodendron as a very good hedge plant, Alamanda as a flowering plant, Rio as a foliage plant. So you have so many varieties are available. You have to cluster them, group them in order to achieve a proper landscape. We have some trees like Streculias are there. Oh, the bark, flowers, seeds. It's a tall variety of tree which will do very well in this kind of a climate. Bahonia blackinia. We call it Mandarai in Tamil. It's a very good scented flowers. Flowers are such a beautiful you have. Plumeria alba, again it's a sculpture tree. Call it temple tree normally. Acalifa red can be used as a hedge planting, red color. Spider lily blooms when there is a rain. Next day morning, you can see this fellow is comes up and start blooming. Say, I am there, available. One of very good cluster planter. Eranthemum gold again is a foliage plant with flowers. Taberna montana, we call it Nandya Vettai, very good for the temple puja purposes. Rohio plant, very good ground cover. Rio, these other varieties of Rio discolor. Trees in the party lawn area, the suitable trees in the model area. We have this golden bottle brush. Yeah, the leaves are normally green, but this got an yellow tinge. So you can see in the photograph, such an attractive tree. You have the frangipani trees are there. Mimosa physiology, slow growing. Your fragrant tree. Spathodia, red color flowers. Legastromia flows regina. Again, we call it pride of India. Trees around the compound wall so that it gives a verticality as well as a privacy for the house. You have Thebubias, Plumerias, Ixora reds, some shrubs, some hedge planting. It's a combination. Thebubia rosea. You can see that excellent flowering. You have mauve color flowering. Casuarina act as a very good buffer tree, very good salt spray preventer. Casuarina, we call it Sauku in Tamil. Then you have a party zone. We have different plant varieties are used here. We have Kentia palm, Cycas as a focal point, Plumbago as a coloring plant, as a leg cover. Then you have fishtail palms for the verticality. You have Duranda gold again as a ground cover. Spider lily again a ground cover. Washingtonia palms for verticality and focal point. Lagastromia indica as a hedge planting, which will be a very good colorful hedge planting. Again, Spathodia is planted as a focal point for the red color flowering. Date palms are normally used as a focal or a change in the landscape character. Clerodendron is used normally as a hedge planting. Ixora singaporensis is planted again as a hedge planting. Acalifa tricolor as a leg cover. Spathodia campaniata, golden bottle brush. So different varieties of planting are there. These are all done in order to achieve a colorfulness, utility, guiding the pathway, hedges, everything like that. And then holding your soil, that is also very important. Huge expense of lawn is provided in the party area. The space is mainly to entertain the guests and hold parties. Good visual experience. Most of the so you cannot have plant everywhere so that people need to walk comfortably in the lawn area. Meandering pathway with stepping stones create a focus and connectivity. Swimming pool with screen wall behind also forms a design feature in this party zone. Palm varieties are used for rich and sophisticated look. Clumps of colorful foliage are planted near the boundary pathways and swimming pool. You can see the Spathodia. Again, Spathodia colorfulness of the flower. Lagastromia, pride of India we call it. It's a very good tree as well as the flowerings are excellent. Caliandra again a powder puff we call it. Ixora, fantastic flowering. It's a dwarf variety actually. Duranta gold, a very good hedge planting. Pennisetum rubrum, again a focal plant or we call it a bushy shrub, call it a munda grass also we call them normally. Same variety, the closer view. Vidalia, very good ground cover with a good flowers, yellow flowers. And same Vidalia only, the characters and how does it grows. You can just cut it into small pieces and planting in the soil, it will keep coming. You don't have to really buy it in potted plants or anything like that. Palms, different palms are used. Cycas revoluta, focal point. When the kids are around, we have to be very careful to use this plant because the leaves are like needle sharp, so it will hurt the kids. So we have to plant it in such a way it doesn't hurt the kids. Date palm again very difficult to establish. Nowadays the mortality rate of date palms are quite high. So you should always have the backup of same number of plants so that when it dies you can replace them. Washingtonia very easy to maintain, good plant. Kentia palms also very easy to maintain, very good cluster formation will happen and give a very good privacy for you. Cassia revoluta, how the leaves, how the buds, fruits. date palm. How the leaves are, fruits are there. Washingtonia palm. Different palms are mainly used to add richness to the landscaping. Fishtail palms. The design of spaces have been arranged in such a way that you have a swimming pool, private spaces, public spaces, secluded places have been designed. Then you also have a kitchen garden wherein you have a small garden, kitchen requirements also have been taken care with some fruit trees, some karellas, some kind of a small area for the greens have been provided. So you can understand what is done. Then you have a lot of ascent planting, expensive plant planting. So in order to rise to the occasion of providing a lush green with different undulations have been provided. If you look at the design and if you see the site, you will really enjoy it. Thank you.